Coming towards the poetry analysis, Pakistan meets a terrorist by Rizwan Akhtar. Rizwan Akhtar was born in Lahore and did his PhD from the University of Essex in 2013. And currently, he is assistant professor in the Department of English at the University of Punjab, Lahore. His main area of teaching is South Asian literature in English, and his research interests involve around uh, post-colonial memory, crime fiction, adaptation studies, and modern aesthetics. So Akhtar's poem, Pakistan Meets a Terrorist, is from his recent collection, Lahore I Am Coming, that's published in 2017. So this poem is full of metaphors of violence and chaos, like peeled and hooked bodies, ripped end lines, pelleted syntax, cities full of fear. Polyphonic nature of these metaphors enlarges the very canvas of capturing forms of violence in Pakistan right after 2001. And his poem shares a kind of a collective memory of violence encompassing 9/11 and 7/7 London bombing, and then revisits them beyond their historical and geographical borders by connecting them with the present. So I will discuss this poem in the light of prosthetic memory, the way it casts needle alienation upon history and the act of re-experiencing it. Theoretical frames of prosthetic memory in the post 9/11 era develop a link between the commodification of culture and the politics of memory. And apart from Landsberg's optimistic coverage of prosthetic memory, it is significant to see how a prosthetic memory erases the original or experienced past or overlaps it with the crafted and unexperienced past, and partially or completely. So this function of prosthetic memory in Orlando Patterson's world is needle alienation that disconnects the individuals from their historical memories. And tracing these kinds of features in the available text of post 9/11 Pakistani poetry is very useful to understand that how prosthetic memories overlap original pasts with the artificial ones, experienced with the unexperienced ones, lived with the unlived, and the reals with the imagined ones. So these memories give an individual a prosthetic past, and this remembering comes at the cost of forgetting more immediate cultural pasts. With this prosthetic bond, transcending time and space, the memory of 9/11 in this poem is needily alienated the way Akhtar tries to equate the violence happening across the world and in Pakistan in the last 2 decades. And this attempt helps to understand the nature of polyphonic 9/11 memory beyond any national or spatial borders. For example, the second line of the poem, "We live through them each moment," develops a trans-historical and transnational memory of violence. And following up the third line, "Every day rehearse a dumb show," emphasizes the frequency of transmitting memory threads that are subscribing more chaotic syntax every day. So Akhtar's poetry helps us understand the prosthetic framing of Pakistani social and national consciousness after 2001. In the sixth and the fifth last couplet, in the TV footages, virtual reconstructions, thrice removed from the reality, and cameras run through smoke as ghosts, find a way of communication. Akhtar points out that media and technology has played its part in deconstructing 9/11 memory and transporting it beyond the national borders and facilitating its transnational acquisition across the world, including Pakistan. So this poem helps in understanding the way 9/11 is turned into a transcendent memory for the global South, circumscribed simultaneously by cultural forgetting. Moving towards the question on language, because of the poem, and this that is the My Languages by Rizwan Akhtar, is one of the such poem that is a kind of a very striking example that reflects the post-colonial irony of writing in English language, and then that laments upon the loss of ancestral, national, and indigenous languages at the same time. And the poet also highlights this idea in the ending lines, if you can see, that I am often prisoner and custodian, straddles with its fortunes, falling and running across the English Channel. And I want to thank the Department of Asian and Middle Eastern Studies, Dr. Christine Marin Allison, Dr. Nida, and Dr. Sabadeep, Dr. Martha, for their indelible support in making this talk and my visit to the USA possible, and a memory beyond the forms of memories we have discussed today to stay with me for the rest of my life. So thank you all for joining me today.